You currently have no idea how to write a script that actually converts. So I'm going to build one from scratch and show you exactly how I do it. In this video, I'm going to take a working title through a full scripting process, and you'll see how we use our Claude agent, every decision, revision, and every reason I make the choices I do. I built content strategies for 200 plus B2B companies, and this is the exact process we run for every single client we work with. So let's build it. So here's what we're going to work with today. The working title is for this topic, the new way to shorten B2B sales cycles with YouTube in 2026. I'm going to make this video for a topic that I would typically say on my YouTube channel. And the other things I'm telling the agent is the specific awareness stage of the viewer I'm writing for is solution aware. So they know content is the answer, but they're stuck. Do we build it in-house? Do we hire an agency? Do I do it myself? The ICP pain is their sales team still re-explaining every objection, every call that they're on. Content's not doing that work in advance, which is why I'm explaining how content can shorten sales cycles with YouTube. Okay. Content type framework reveal. So I'm essentially going to be doing 3 proposed sections as to what I would like to say in this specific video. And you can see these are the sections that I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about SEO and keyword research, why that's important. Sales call mining, meaning we're going to find common objections and different viewer stages, not just top of funnel to bottom of funnel, but all these unaware, problem aware, solution aware, blah, blah, blah. And the reason we're picking this is because this specific keyword was shortened sales cycles at 4,468 searches per month, low competition, high intent. I love it. Very in alignment with what we do. And you can see sales cycle in there, shorten. We've got the keyword right in the title. Okay. So now we've gotten all this ready to go. So let's pop it open and we're going to say, let's go with talking head script. Okay. We're going to watch it output. Now, before we get into this, if you're already looking at this saying this is way too much work, but you know you need this level of detail, there's a link in the description to book a call with me, and I'll show you how we stand this up for founders like you only with 3 hours of time per month. And we come on site to you and we'll coach you, we'll film you, we'll script, edit, publish, and distribute the whole thing for you. So use that link below. We'll have a quick chat and we'll see what the potential is for your business. But anyways, as we get into this, let's see what the first output is going to be. So it looks like the agent right now is just summarizing everything that we had. So blah, 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 a few clarifications, perfect title. We want to do 60 characters clean because if it's any more than 60 characters, it's going to get cut off on YouTube. So I'll say keep the title 60 characters. Boom. That's number 1. Number 2, body sections. You've given me 3 topic layers. Do you want me to name them? Okay, so this is really nice. So instead of giving the raw context as the output, I can say you can name them. So that way it sounds a little more trendy. It sounds a little more concise. I like that. Lead magnet. Do we have anything to offer right now? No lead magnet. And then content style is talking head. Only script. So the reason it's asking me that is because the agent is trained to know all these different nuances. So it's just asking me for like that final cherry on top. So we're good here. Let's go. So now it's going to output the script. So we'll wait here as it does. Oh, okay. No, it wants the title again. Hold on. The new way to shorten B2B sales cycle 2026. I like this one. The new way, that's a nice proven concept on YouTube. I know that's good. The new way to shorten your B2B sales cycle is 2026. Great. So that's what we're going to roll with. So this is just like you got to go a little bit back and forth now. This is why we have writers when we're doing things. Writers will actually use the agents that we build for all of our clients to make sure all this nuance is accounted for as we write. So just some extra stuff there. Okay. So let's see what it spits out. What you need to know is that every video script needs to have structure to it. If it doesn't have structure to it, people are going to click off. So the intro is going to be where we're going to talk from the first little bit, of course. We're going to have body section number 1. We're going to have a mid-video call to action, number 2, number 3, and then probably an outro as it comes in here. Outro. Perfect. So the reason we do this is because the more section or the more organization you can have to your script, the easier it is for someone watching to follow along. So as you saw in this video, I said I'm going to walk you through an entire script build that we're going to do, and I gave you that promise up front. So that's exactly what we're doing here. So new way to shorten B2B sales cycle. Great. Intro is the hyperhook and urgency. This is the first thing we want to say. And we're going to say your sales team is getting on calls, re-explaining same objections every week. And the reason that keeps happening has nothing to do with your sales team. Pretty good. Escalate. It means your content is not doing its job before the call ever starts. Every qualified prospect you have is Googling you, watching your competitors on YouTube, forming an opinion about who they are, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is a little long. What I'm going to tell the agent now in terms of the intro is that this section is way, way, way too long. That's the first thing I gotta speak on. Authority mining, this is very important because after we've hooked them and we've said, this is what's going to happen if you don't listen to me, now we're saying, here's why you should listen to me. And this is where you have to explain why your authority is related to the topic at hand. So I'm founder of Hive. I build GTM content engines for B2B founders across SaaS, RevOps, GTM agencies, recruitment. So in that case, we're also going to put on the screen all the different other people that we spoke or that we worked with. And if you notice, we did that at the beginning of this video. So you can see how we're doing it again. Lastly is the video contract promise and ICP. So we're saying in this video, I'm going to give you 3 layers of the framework that we use to build content that shortens sales cycles for B2B founders, GTM teams. Okay. By the end, you'll understand exactly blah, blah, blah. Honestly, this is a really good working first draft. It is a little bit long for my liking. So what we're going to do is we're going to maintain the rest of the sections currently, and we're going to go section by section. So I'm going to just rework the intro right now. So first thing is first, I'm going to talk to text it here. So your intro and your hyper hook is a little bit long, period. There's too much words and jargon, period. I want you to tighten that up, make it more concise, but maintain the context. So that way we're able to get that hyper hook across in one single sentence, period. Your escalation section is also way too long. You need to trim that down into one sentence that builds off of the hyper hook in urgency. So that way it reiterates and escalates the problem in a very concise way, period. I also want you to swap the sections of video contract and promise with authority mining, period. Authority mining should be before the immediate bridge, period. Now, the reason I'm switching authority mining and video contract is because when somebody clicks on your YouTube video, they need to know that they've landed on the right place. So if we're going to hyper hook them, great. But then we're going to say, that's why in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 layers of the framework to build content that shortens sales cycles for B2B founders. That is literally what the title is. And we want to say that as fast as possible. And then to back it up to keep them engaged and saying, by the way, you should listen to me. I've done this time and time again. So what I have to say is actually important. So listen up. Okay. Now I'm going to tell it only output the intro redone right now. I'm going to say we will work on the other sections afterwards. Great. So now let's see how that tightens up a bit here. See, much more concrete already. Your sales team is explaining the same objections in every call because your content isn't doing that work before the call starts. Every week that stays true, your sales cycle gets longer and your team gets slower. Perfect. Look at how we've taken this big chunk up here. If we go back to it, look how many lines. Look how long that is. And then we came back here and we just said, boom. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to paste it in. Awesome. Claude responded. Love that. So you see how we've added in a human layer on top of what the agent output. So this is how we're leveraging AI to write content, but still making sure that there's nuance and there's expertise that's demonstrated in the script and from a creative perspective. So that way it's not just random AI jargon. Okay. And you also notice no EM dashes. Just gotta say it's pretty good. All right. Let's go back up to the first section here, which is body section 1 research layer. So what we're going to do here, it's going to be hidden, but what we're going to uncover is, look, we're going to introduce the problem, and then we're going to talk about why there is something as a solution, what the new way is, and then we're going to close out with what we need to remember from the specific section. So all of these elements are included here. So let's look here. You're probably picking video topics based on what feels relevant, maybe a competitor post, team brainstorm, what the founder felt like talking. The approach produces content nobody is searching for. I love that. This context knows me because whenever I say we do SEO keyword research or query research, it's because we're looking at, where is it here? The exact questions your ICP is already typing into YouTube and Google. We're looking for pre-validated demand with SEO words, target keywords, and queries. So I love that it picked it up from the context we had in the back of the agent. And now we've introduced the problem and we've said this is why nobody's going to search for it. Here's the new way of doing it. And then we go on to iterate more. YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google. Every video published is indexed. Transcript is crawlable. When you publish consistently around the questions your buyers are actually asking, you start showing up in moments that matter, blah, blah, blah. Really, really great. Keyword, shortened sales cycle. So we're giving a great example here. And then our editor can probably put a visual up on the screen, which is great. And then the insight here is simple. If you want content to shorten your sales cycle, it has to reach your buyer while they're still in research mode. And the only way to guarantee that is to build every topic around what they're searching for, not what you feel like saying. Honestly, that's very good, but I am going to add one specific thing and to show you the importance of using an agent now. Okay. I remember, you know what? I'm just going to show you very, very straightforward. Watch this. For body section 1, this is very good, period. Is there a way we can reference our own data and case study where we've increased our website traffic by using this specific SEO keyword strategy? ? So we actually have documented in our backend is yes, how we've tripled our websites, or much more tripled. And then we had big organic traffic growth over the year because we put out written content in relation to SEO keywords research. Okay. So boom, look, see how it's added this in. We ran this exact strategy on Hive before we ran it for a client. We started here by deliberately doing this volume, blah, 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 793%. So now what we've done is not only have we introduced the problem, where's this going actually? Keyword. So not only have we actually introduced the problem and the solution, now we're backing it up with a claim saying, listen, we have done this and here are the results to prove that we did this. And then to our editing team, we can say editing team, showcase the results on screen. So now that's a really solid section that explains why the research layer is important, how it turned out, what they need to take away. Love it. Now let's go on to the second layer, as you can see here, but it's going to be very, very straightforward, as you can see. Oh, very important actually, mid-video CTA. This is super critical because most people don't watch to 50%, 70%, 90%, 100%. We want to put a mid-video call to action around 30% of the way through the video. So if you notice at the beginning of this video, I did the same thing. I was like, by the way, if you want us to do this, link below, that's my call to action. So you want it to be super subtle. And after we do the first section that we have here, we're going to pop it in again. So if you're watching this and realizing your current content has no keyword strategy underneath it, this is the most common gap we see. If you want to see what this looks like for your business, the link to book a call is in the description. I love it. Very straightforward, very easy. This is going to come at around maybe like the 3-minute mark, this specific thing here, which is where we see a lot of the typical retention still there. So we want to capture them before they go away. If you got about, I think it's like 40% average view duration, like that's a really solid average view duration, and you want to make sure you're putting your call to action in there as well. Now I'm just going to take body section number 2, 3, and the outro, so we don't have to keep scrolling back up. We're just going to work them one by one. So let's get into number 2. So the mining layer. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Here's what no one tells you about content. The best topics for shortening your sales cycle are not on the internet. They're inside your own sales calls. They're asking the same questions, same hesitations. The mining layer we use to extract the okay. So this is when we're talking about the mechanism now. So we've introduced the problem, as you've seen, and then here's the new solution. We use to extract the intelligence before we write a single script. We sit down with the founder and where possible the sales team. Now we actually do this with our clients. So I love that it's referencing the actual things that we do in the company. Really great. We pull 5 of the most expensive objections to handle every week, and we turn those questions into videos. So when a prospect watches that video, or sometimes our clients will send these specific YouTube videos to clients before the call to already address that. So they have better time and more time to sell. That's where these are very powerful things. Objection is handled before the call starts. Second, prospect trusts you before you've already understood what they're thinking. It's not a coincidence. That's the mining layer. The shift here to make is this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is honestly really good. The only thing I would do here now is probably go back to my own content and see where I have done this in the past. So a great example, I just remember off the top of my head, this is my new channel I started, but our Hive agency channel, the one we previously had, why most videos agencies waste your time and what we do differently. So this is a common objection we always get. It's like, well, can't we just edit in-house and can't we just hire an editor? And we're like, yes, you can, but here's why you shouldn't do that and why we do things differently. And there's a full system behind what we do. It's not just videos that we publish for you. Like there's strategy that goes into it. So I can say for the second section, I want you to reference how we have done this in a video for ourselves using this example below, period. And what I'll do is, you know what, we actually have a YouTube transcript generator. I'll show you here. This is how we really rock and roll. Just when stuff was getting good, it's got to kill the mood. But what we're going to do here is this is going to extract the transcript from the video that we previously did. And I'm going to feed the agent that context again. So that way, when it's referencing this specific example, it can be very clear in what we output. So this This is actually the whole script. I'm going to paste it in. And it's going to output a specific thing. Boop, boop, boop. Look, it understands the video now. And then it's going to insert a very specific, where is it here? All right, where did it put it? Yeah, here we go. We did this ourselves before we ever did it for a client again. So we'll take that. We'll put it back under the mining layer, just like this. But I remember this sentence here, we did this ourselves before we did it for a client. We set that up here again, I believe, right? We ran this exact strategy before we ran it for a client. I'm just going to remove that to avoid redundancy. Again, important why humans are part of this mix. And I say, yeah, in our own content, we did this specifically, blah, 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 what was keeping them stuck, what objections they were carrying. We built videos. Yeah, exactly. And then I can use this, I'll copy this, and I'll go to our editing team and say, showcase this example on screen. Great. And then the same thing for the third section here. And honestly, given the first sections were really good, this one also is probably going to be very good. So now this is the stage map. So the reason your content is not shortening sales cycles is this: you're probably publishing for one type of buyer when there's 5 different viewer stages across your pipeline. So here we're introducing the 5 different stages that we write for. So not every content or prospects finds your content in the same place. Some have never heard of you. They don't know they have a problem yet. Some have a problem but are still figuring it out. So this is nice because these are the actual stages that we work with for all the videos. So the stage map ensures blah, blah, blah. Yep, we map content across 5 stages of awareness. Really, really nice. And what's really great too is there's so many examples of how we've done this. So great, like this one right here, how B2B SaaS agencies can rank on ChatGPT. This is like a very solution aware video because somebody's looking as a B2B SaaS founder. So like, okay, how can I get on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini? They're not asking like, what is AI SEO? They're like, no, how can I get on there? So you see a little nuance there where we can add in some examples. So I'm going to tell my editor to pull screenshots as well. Screenshots we've done to showcase this in real time. Great. And now we've got the 3 sections done, which is really great. Now the outro, this is where we have a little more spice to it. Okay, so this is where we have the last ingredients that are very important. So let's say a viewer makes it all the way to your end of your video. You don't want to give them to the next person on YouTube. What we do is we call this like a referral traffic source. So at the end, if somebody watches a full video, we'll say, okay, listen, what we covered today is the foundation, but there's much more to the picture that we didn't get in. And I say, if you want the full thing, I have a video linked on the screen that goes deeper and how we build this for real clients. Click it and keep watching. And what this does is it sends the viewer over to a more longer video where I go into all the aspects and very, very much pre-sell. And I pre-sell the service and what we're doing. So that way they come over to that second video much more warmer because they've already just spent X amount of minutes with me. And then if they don't click there, that's fine. We want to go for the conversion here. And I say, okay. And if you're ready to stop letting your sales team start from 0 every call, the link to book a call with me is in the description below. And then here's the offer that we do roughly. So we stand this up in 30 days, keyword research, sales call mining, buyer stage mapping, scripting site. It's a little bit long. I would probably tighten this up a little bit. But for purposes of this video right now, we're coming up a little bit hot. So we'll keep it, I won't do it too much, but just understand that final call to action is very important. And then what we normally do to finish out is summary of new belief, reminder of risk, reminder of payoff. So here's what we've learned. Here's what happens if you stay stuck. And here's what happens if you actually do this correctly. And the reason we don't put the CTA right at the end of the video is because we know, and you know, when you're watching a video and you see like that last 10%, you go, I'll skip off of it. So what we do is we actually make that last 10%. It's still engineered to do something. But most of the time, we don't care if they watch that last 10% because we've got the referral to the other longer video that we have here or to book a call. We've done that and then we let the video ride. So by the time it gets that last little 10%, the prospect at that point would then be like, okay, but we've gotten in before then. So that's why this is super important for structure. So here's a recap of everything that we've done today. This script will probably be about 8 to 10 minutes length, which is a nice length for the video. But look at how we've structured everything and why it's important that you have a lot of context with the specific writer and the agent here with all the frameworks and all this good jazz. We have the intro. We've kept it nice and tight as you can see, first 30 seconds. Body section number 1, a real proof layer, so explaining here's how we did this. A mid-video call to action around 30%. Second body section, and then we have another referral example. Third body section, another example, and then outro, hey, book a call or watch this next video. And this is what we call a phenomenally worded video. Now, when we're actually doing videos like this, we do spend much more time on it. Granted, just because I'm showing it for you guys, I was going a little bit fast. Typically, it takes us about an hour and a half per script, where we're really going through all the details to make sure it actually does sound human, and there's much more personalization in it. Right now, I think for the video though, you got majority of the gist in a way that actually made sense. And if you want to try this for your business, think about what you just watched. That was one script. Now multiply that by research that goes into finding the right topic, the keyword strategy behind it, the recording, editing, on-site filming, publishing, and the performance tracking that happens after. So that's what goes into a single video that we produce for our clients every month. And that's why other founders choose us. Okay, we come on site to you, we handle every single part of this process, and all you got to do is show up for like 2 to 3 hours per month to film. And we come to you, like I said. So that's it. Everything else is on us. Now, if that sounds like the partner your content has been missing, the link to book a call with me is in the description below, and we can walk you through exactly what this looks like for your business. Scripting a B2B founder video is not a creative exercise, it's a process. And when the process is right, the output is consistent every time. But without that process, like you've seen today, every script is a coin flip. And it's inconsistent, and inconsistent means that buyers don't trust you when you're trying to reach them time and time again. When the scripting system is running, your content sounds like you, moves your buyer, and compounds every single month. That builds your brand, whether you're in the room or not.